Hi, everyone, and welcome to our very special online crystal healing class today. Our topic is healing with crystal skulls. So welcome to class. I have been looking forward to being in this class with all of you and sharing these very special, beautiful techniques that we are going to learn in this class. So we're going to just go around our circle just to introduce ourselves to each other. So I would like you to say your name, what city you are in, and I would like you to show us the crystal skull that you are going to be working with today, just so we have a little meet and greet and get to know each other. So I'll start as an example. I'm Krista. I'm your teacher here in Vancouver, Canada. I have many skulls, but the one I'm going to be working with today is this one. So this one is a purple floret, and I really like it because it's got this nice light part on the crown chakra, very bright and illuminated. So I will be working with this one today. All right, so let's go around our circle and introduce ourselves. So Ronald, if you could please unmute yourself and introduce yourself and show us your skull.
Hi, my name is Ram, and I'm in Boulder, Colorado in the States, and my skull is called Aaron. This is a picture of him. Actually, Aaron is on his way. He's in my heart right now, so I'm still working with him, and I'm getting responses even in meditation because I hold his picture and connect with him through time space if you want, but Aaron has become very dear to me already.
Beautiful. And what type of crystal is Aaron?
It is a smoky quartz.
Beautiful. Excellent. Welcome to class. It's great to have you here, Ron. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Dana, let's go to you.
Hello, dear friends. My name is Dana, and I live close to Asheville, North Carolina. So I live in the mountains of North Carolina. And the crystal skull I'm going to be working with today is a rose quartz skull. So.
Beautiful. Love it. Gorgeous. Excellent. Welcome to class, Dana. It's great to have you here. And Tatiana, let's go to you. You just need to unmute.
Oh, hi, my name is Tatiana. I live in Vancouver, it's Krista. And my little skull is, I don't know if you can see, it's a mookaite. So very pretty. I really like the color. It's, I guess it's like cherry color, maybe a little bit dark. I feel the connection even though it's tiny. So I don't know much about skulls specifically, but look forward.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Welcome to class, Tatiana. It's good to have you here. And size of crystal skulls do not matter, whether it's a small one, big one, they will all provide beautiful healing energies. So welcome to class. And Savita, let's go to you.
My name is Savita. So I am crystal healer, yoga therapist, distance healer. I love the crystals, and from last 2 years I have taken crystal therapy and distance healing as my profession. So I'm enjoying this thoroughly, distance healing. And today I want to know more about my skulls and everything, crystal skulls. So I have purchased this clear quartz skull. It's 4-inch in size. I want to start and meditate with this, and I want to know more in healing with the crystal skulls.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful skull. Welcome to class, Savita.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. And Jennifer, let's go to you. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. So we have from the mountains to the beach today. And the skull that I have, I just got, so I'm just learning about him. But he is a clear quartz. I don't know if you can see. There you go.
Yeah, beautiful.
And he's about 2 inches. But I also got a 5-inch white jade one. So I'm interested in working with that too.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful as well. That's great. Well, welcome to class,
Yeah, it's
Jennifer.
a little big and a little heavy, but I'm hoping that I can learn how to work with that one too.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah, sometimes it's a little easier working with the smaller ones, especially when we're holding them because the big ones can get a little heavy. So that's great. Welcome to class. Yeah, it's great to have you here, Jennifer. Beautiful. All right. So let's dive into our class and let's get started. So I'm just going to share my screen and we will dive in. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So our topic is healing with crystal skulls. And I just want to let you all know about the upcoming classes that we have, online classes, just so that you're aware. We have the Boosting Vitality, Motivation, and Confidence with Carnelian. That's going to be on November 13th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And that is a really great class to really boost your energy levels, your vitality, to get your motivation going, getting you out of procrastination, boosting your confidence so that you can create success in life. And then also the next one, some of you have been asking me about the shamanic classes that I teach. So I'm teaching the Gateway to Shamanic Journeying class, which is a 2-day class on November 27th and 28th. It's from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. So that is a really in-depth shamanic class. And then in December, our crystal class for December is Boosting Your Inner Radiance with Peacock Stone on December 11th at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which that class really helps you to boost your inner radiance, to create good, beautiful synchronicities in your life, to be at the right place at the right time to make magic happen, and so that you can tap into your skills, talents, and abilities to your fullest potential to shine in everything that you do, creating better success for yourself in relationships, in work, in projects that you might be working on. And that includes even all kinds of relationships, whether they're work relationships, friendships, family, etc. So that is a really fun class. So you can register for those on my website, The Crystal Ones, learncrystalhealing.com, or all of them you can find on my other website, christalyn.ca. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's talk about how to cleanse your crystal skulls. So it's so important that we cleanse our crystal skulls, because when we get them home from a store or a gem show, or we've ordered it online, chances is that a lot of people might have touched that crystal skull. And if the person touching the skull has been feeling stressed out or anxious, sad, or angry in some way, that the skull will want to do some healing work for that person. So as they hold the skull will absorb their stress states, negative emotions, and help them to feel better. And if that stone then comes to you, it could have those energies stored in the stone, those stress states, negative emotions. So it's very important that we cleanse it before we work with it. And then when you do your special healing work with your crystal skull, it will absorb your energies, your emotions, your stress states, so that you feel better. And then it's very important that you cleanse your crystal skull right after working with it for healing. So my rule of thumb is to cleanse your crystal skull before any healing work that you do. Once you do your healing work, then cleanse the skull again to make sure that it's clean and operating at a high positive vibration. Also, if you are working with your crystals over a long period of time, they can get tired and fatigued, and that can diminish its healing energies. So when you cleanse it, it helps to boost its healing energy as well. So my two favorite ways are working with the smudging method, which is burning sage, Palo Santo wood, or incense. There's 3 types of cleansing incenses: frankincense, myrrh, or white copal. And I will show you how to work with that method. And the other method that I like is working with a dish of dry sea salt. So let me show you this. Okay, so we're going to work with Palo Santo wood, which I have here. So this is a fire hazard. I have a little dish here I have either water or sand, that if the flame gets out of control, I can just put it in there to put the flame out. So when we do this method, we always ask the sage, the wood, or the incense for cleansing. So I will say to the wood, thank you for cleansing all negative energy and unwanted energy from this crystal skull, so that it is cleansed and purified completely. In full faith, so be it. And then you light the wood or sage or incense to get it smoking. Okay. And then you just pass the skull through the smoke, just like that. And then it is cleansed. And then I'm going to put this out here in my dish to make sure that it is out. Good. Okay, so that's a very fast way to cleanse the crystal. The other method that I work with is a dish of salt, and I just put the crystal skull in the salt, and the salt will act like a vacuum cleaner, just pulling out all of those unwanted energies from the skull, and will cleanse it completely. I will let this sit in a dish of salt for a few hours. Now, if I just bought this crystal from the store, I will let the skull sit in the salt for 24 hours to give it a really deep clean. And then once it's cleansed, I will do my healing work with it, then put it back in the salt and let it rest for a couple of hours is fine. Now, if you have a really big crystal skull and you want to work with the salt method, you could put the salt on a plate and then put the skull on top of the plate. And that is a good way to do it. Okay. You don't have to keep throwing out the salt after every cleanse. You can reuse the same salt once a week. Put the dish of salt in the windowsill to catch the natural sunlight, and the sunlight will refresh the salt. So you can work with the same dish over a longer period of time. Okay. So very important that we cleanse our crystal skulls. All right, so let's carry forward. All right. So let's talk now about what are crystal skulls. So crystal skulls that can include quartz crystal that has been carved into the likeness of a human skull. And other crystal skulls can be carved using different gemstones. So like lapis lazuli or onyx or carnelian or mookaite. Any of those gemstones can be carved into a crystal skull. So in the crystal healing community, people work with both of the quartz family, which is clear quartz, smoky quartz, rose quartz, citrine, amethyst, and then also with different gemstones. And these carvings can be rustic looking or realistic. So the one that I showed you, my fluorite skull, was more rustic. The one in this photograph is kind of in between rustic and realistic. And the crystal skull that we'll be working with for our grid, our 13 skull grid, the smoky quartz one I have, and you will see it, it's more of a realistic looking one. So we can work with any of those. They all work well. And then there's other crystal skulls out there too that are carved as alien skulls, animal skulls. So like a skull of a raven, dragon skulls, open geode skulls, Mayan styled shaped skulls where the skull, the back of the skull is in an elongated shape. Those all work for crystal healing purposes. So these crystal skulls, gemstone skulls, can come in a variety of different shapes and carvings. And people work with these skulls for personal healing, for healing the planet. So for healing forests, oceans, and also if there's any natural disasters, man-made disasters, so like volcano eruptions, typhoons, tsunamis. Also, we're going to be working with, later on when we do our skull grid, we're going to be working with sending healing to the oceans where there was an ocean catastrophe where there was oil that spilled into the ocean. So we can work with any of those world events. And then also we can work with crystal skulls for oracular work, which means doing divination with the crystal skulls, where we can ask a question and receive an answer. So that's divination, also known as oracular work. Okay, I really love this quote by Judy Hall, so I wanted to include it in the class. She says here, skulls have taken on an aura of magic and mystery like no other crystal artifact. They excite the imagination and are an amazing tool for personal and planetary evolution if used with the right intention and metaphysical awareness. So basically what she's saying there, that when we approach working with the skull, coming from a good place of healing intention, coming and approaching that healing work with love and good intention, the amount of healing that we can achieve with the crystal skull can be amazing. So I want to just talk a little bit about 4 crystal skulls that are very famous in history. And this is kind of also what started the crystal healing community here, working with crystal skulls. So the very first skull is called the Anna Mitchell Hedges crystal skull. So here's a photograph of the skull, and that is Anna in the background. She is now passed on. And the folklore around this is that her father was an archaeologist, and they were at the Mayan site called Lu Bantun. And on her birthday, as she was looking down into the ruin of a pyramid, a Mayan pyramid, that she saw something sparkling. And when she was lowered down, there was this crystal skull. Okay, so that's what she claimed. However, scientists did some studies on it and found that it was not in fact Mayan, but that it was a modern carved skull. It wasn't ancient and mostly carved with diamond tools and from Europe. Now, this skull was also called the skull of love, and this skull would be worked with for healing, and people would come and receive healing from the skull. So there was amazing healing results that people were reporting working with this skull. So there was a lot of good work that was done for healing with the skull. So this is kind of one of the skulls that really started the crystal skull healing community. We have also the Paris Museum skull. So this one is in a museum in Paris. It's made of clear quartz, so it's a little bit cloudy, has some inclusions. It was thought that the origin is Mexico, and we call this one the Paris skull. And it's exhibited in the museum since the late 1800s. Also, scientific tests were done on this skull, and it was found to be made with modern tools, and it's not a pre-Columbian skull as once thought. And it has a hole going down the center. So it's believed that maybe because it had a hole going down the center, maybe it was on a staff or a cross or a stick of some sort, but it's uncertain. But if you ever go to Paris and you go to the museum there, you can see this skull on display, and people will go there to also receive healing from the skull. People have reported some amazing healing results of being in the presence of the skull. And also people will take their own personal skulls with them into the museum and hold it in front of the Paris Museum skull to receive healing from that skull, to charge up their own personal crystal skull with healing energy. So you can do that if you find yourself in Paris. All right. And then there's another one in the British Museum. And this one is a clear quartz skull as well, very beautiful. The origin was thought to be Aztec. And of course, studies were done on the skull. It's not Aztec, probably carved in Europe at some point, so it's more modern. And they're thinking that the crystal came from either Brazil or Madagascar, but not Mexico. And again, this one's on display. So if you find yourself in Britain, you can go to the museum and see this skull. And there's been reports that the skull moves, that in its display case, it will move slightly, turn. There's been reports from lots of people there working in the museum, security guards, etc. And people will take also their own personal skulls in their own collection, bring it to the museum, hold it in front of the British Museum skull, and then have that skull energize their own personal skull with healing. So if you find yourself there and you go to the museum, you can take your own skull there and have it charge up with healing energy. All right, and the last one I want to talk about is the Smithsonian crystal skull. So this one is a little bit unusual. It's a quartz skull and it's hollow inside. And someone anonymously mailed it through the mail to the museum. And when they opened it, the box that came, lo and behold, there was a crystal skull there. So initially it was classified as Aztec, but now they've done some studies on it and they thought it's not even 100 years old. So they thought that more modern tools have created this one, and probably created in the 1950s, because it also contains silicon carbide, which is a substance found in carving tools. And when this arrived mysteriously at the Smithsonian Museum there in the US, it kind of creeped people out, because they thought maybe this was cursed because, you know, it came from, they don't know who it came from, they couldn't trace it, but it is actually not cursed. And people have found that it has, you know, quite beautiful healing energy. So it's kind of an interesting story around that one. All right. So let's now talk a little bit more about ancient versus modern skulls. So many crystal skull guardians believe that modern skulls are just as wonderful to work with as old or ancient skulls. So it doesn't matter if it's modern made or an old skull from long ago. And it is believed that when the skull or gemstone is carved into the skull shape, that the crystal may act as a device to access the universal field of consciousness, to be able to get information from the field of consciousness. Also, it was thought that people can connect to the Akashic records through working with crystal skulls. And the Akashic records is the kind of like the spiritual library, if you will, that contains all of the history of your lifetime, past lives, etc. And also they would say that the crystal skull, gemstone skull, contains a consciousness or compassionate conscious being that occupies the skull. So in other words, it was believed that a beautiful, compassionate, loving spirit would be associated with the skull. It's also said that once a crystal skull is carved, or even working with gemstones, it connects that crystal skull to the healing matrix of all other crystal skulls on the planet. That's kind of neat when you think about it. So all of us in this class here, our crystal skulls are connected to all of our crystal skulls in this class, as they are also connected to all the crystal skulls in the world. And it was believed that it's connected through this matrix of energy to bring healing to humanity, to bring healing to animals, to bring healing to the planet, to uplift the planet, people, animals, everything to a nice high vibration, so that all of us can work for the common good and the greatest good, bringing healing into the world. Okay, so let's now talk a little bit about inner consciousness versus higher consciousness. So some crystal guardians believe that when gazing into a crystal skull, your subconscious mind is linking to the collective unconscious, okay, really linking to the universal field of energy, in which different images or information can be perceived by you and interpreted. So when working with the skull, especially in meditation, it was believed that people could access that universal field of energy to get information, to get wisdom, as you know, doing psychic readings or oracular readings, and that information can come through. Also, some crystal skull guardians believe that a compassionate being, a spirit, resides in the skull, which is connected to all of the other compassionate beings via a crystalline skull network, and that those beings or spirits are a facet of a larger connected consciousness and exhibit their own personality. So some crystal guardians work with all of those beliefs, and some will choose one of the two. So it's up to you of what you would like to believe or what you would like to work with. Do you like the idea that a compassionate, loving spirit is associated with the skull and you're working with that like as a spirit guide, so to speak? Or do you work with the other way, where the skull is an access point to help you to access that beautiful universal field of energy to gain wisdom and healing information? Or maybe you work with both. So I leave that up to you. That is just something for you to think about for yourself. And why do we work with crystal skulls? So people consider crystal skulls to be crystal healing tools. And some say that when the crystal is carved into a skull shape, it can help to tap into altered states of consciousness that allow for heightened intuition, oracular work, and healing, so that when we're holding a crystal skull and working with it, our consciousness can raise into a nice, beautiful, altered state of consciousness to access healing, to access our intuition, to access psychic information. Crystal grids are also created for planetary healing, or to focus on a particular healing intention. So if you like to work with a crystal grid, and I'll show you that at the end of the class, working with a set of 13 crystal skulls, that you can bring healing to the planet, to humanity, to the world, to animals, for healing for the highest good. And the crystal or the gemstone that the crystal skull is carved out of adds the healing energy to that stone. So for instance, if you've got a clear quartz skull, you'll get all of the healing properties of clear quartz, or if it's rose quartz, all of the properties of rose quartz, or if it's fluorite, you get all of that extra healing benefit of the fluorite. So you can draw your own conclusions of what crystal skulls mean to you and how you would personally like to work with them. Would you like to work with your crystal skull for personal healing for yourself, emotional healing, physical healing for yourself? Would you like to also work with crystal skulls to bring healing to the world, to humanity, to the planet, for even natural disasters or man-made disasters, or healing animals? Maybe all of that. So that's for you to decide. All right, and let's talk now about the mysterious legend of the 13 crystal skulls. Okay, so here's the legend. Supposedly, there are 13 crystal skulls of ancient Aztec Mayan origin that have been scattered across the globe, hidden across the world, and these crystal skulls hold knowledge about civilization and the human race. Legend has it that when all of these crystal skulls are found and brought together, it will awaken a new era to transform consciousness from an old, outmoded paradigm into a new one that has and holds a more positive vibration. Okay, so this is really important because it's believed that when these crystal skulls come together, all 13 of them, that it will raise the vibration of humanity to a more positive vibration. And at the time of this class, let's face it, we have a lot going on in the world at the moment. We have the pandemic, of course, we have political upheaval, we've got a lot of war going on, we've had a lot of natural disasters, we've had some man-made disasters, throughout this last year, 2 years. So there's been a lot. So when these 13 skulls come together, it's to raise the vibration of humanity for a more positive vibration and to bring that healing into the world for everybody, the earth, the plants, the animals, and people. And when modern made skulls come together, so let's just put ancient skulls aside, when the modern made skulls come together in a set of 13, it creates a beautiful and powerful energetic crystal grid that can open a portal to higher dimensions of consciousness to allow tremendous healing energies to come through. And the 13 skulls in a crystal grid amplify and magnify the healing potential of all the crystal skulls. So it amplifies the healing potential. And it also creates a vortex of amplified energy that can be used to empower or energize other gemstones, other objects, or also be used for amplifying intentions for manifesting. So if there's goals you would like to manifest, you could work with a 13 skull grid to manifest your goals, your dreams, your desires, or also place intentions for healing for yourself personally or for the world. And it's best if the 12 skulls, the ones that surround the center skull, are of the same stone and the same size. Best if they are the same size, but you could use different gemstones or crystals. So in this photograph, we have a clear quartz skull in the center, and then the 12 surrounding skulls are in rose quartz, but we could have one rose quartz, one amethyst, one smoky quartz. We could have a variety if we want. That's okay too, but they should be about the same size each. That is the best. Okay. And let's now talk a little bit about how to choose a crystal skull. So all of us in this class, we already have a skull that has come to us, but maybe another skull comes to you. So this is just good information to know. When people have a crystal skull or a gemstone skull, the person is considered to be the guardian or the keeper of the crystal skull. So we refer to ourselves as a crystal skull guardian. In some cases, a crystal skull could be gifted to you as if by mysterious chance. All of a sudden, someone might come to you and say, here, I have this crystal skull. I think it needs to go to you. So that's one way a crystal skull could come to you. Or you might be drawn to a particular crystal skull and you purchase it. So let's say you go down to the crystal store or gemstone, a gem show, or you're looking online, and let's say you're looking for something else. You're looking for a rose quartz heart, but all of a sudden you see a crystal skull and you look at it and you go, wow, I just feel so drawn to it. Okay, so then you decide to buy it and take it home. It's just, you just feel so drawn to it that you want to work with it. So that's one way a crystal skull can come to you as well. Or you may even dream of the crystal skull before you even see it at the store. And it is said that the crystal skull is calling out to you in your dream. So you might have a dream of an amethyst skull, and then all of a sudden, let's say you go to a gem show and you look at a table and boom, that skull, the amethyst skull, is sitting on the table, the exact same one that you had a dream about. So that can happen. And let's say you are in a store shopping for a crystal skull and you hold one in your hand. It might heat up in your hands. It might create a buzzing sensation in your hands, or you might sway slightly as you're holding it. Those are all indications that this crystal skull is choosing you to be its guardian and that the crystal skull wants to work with you. So if you're holding the skull and you feel those kinds of sensations in your hand, then you know that that crystal skull would like to work with you and is choosing you to be its very special crystal skull guardian. All right. So now let's think a little bit more about how to choose a crystal skull. So if you get a second or third or fourth skull, if you start to add to your skull collection, think about what purpose you would like that crystal skull to fulfill. Is that healing for yourself? Maybe doing healing work for other people? Is that to enhance meditation practices? Or maybe you would like to work with a skull for channeling information to offer insightful psychic readings for people. Or maybe helping you with shamanic journey practices and shamanic healing practices. Maybe you would like to work with that skull for bringing healing to the earth or animals or plants, or maybe manifestation of goals, dreams, desires that you have. So some crystal skulls will have one healing purpose, or that skull might have a variety of healing purposes. So for myself, I have quite a few skulls in my collection. Most of the skulls that I have, one skull for one healing purpose. So I have one skull that I work with for healing for myself. I have another skull that I work with for meditation. I have other skulls that I work with for healing for the earth. So you might find that your crystal skull collection starts to grow because your crystal skulls will have different healing jobs that they would like to do. Okay. And when you are choosing a crystal skull, let's say you say to yourself, I would like another skull to come to me, then you can choose. What would you like? Would you like that for healing for yourself? Would you like another skull to come to you to help you with meditation or manifestation? So when you put out that intention before you go to a store or before you shop online, then the right crystal for that job, that healing job, will present itself to you and will show up for you. So those are a nice way that you put out the intention of what you would like to achieve with that skull, what type of healing purpose, and then the right skull will appear to you to work with you for that healing purpose. So when you state that intention, you can state it out loud. You know, I'm looking for a skull, the best skull that would like to come to me for healing the earth, or I'm looking for the best skull that wants to come to me to work with my own personal healing. So you speak the intention either in your mind or out loud, and then start looking for the skull, let it come to you. All right, so crystal skulls will come to us when we are ready. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about how to connect to your special crystal skull. So when you receive a skull into your life, it's important to form a connection to the crystal skull. This connection can allow you to work with the crystal skull in a deeper way as it activates its healing potential, boosting the healing potential of the crystal skull. It also helps you to connect to the sacredness, the specialness of that crystal skull to bring about healing and positive transformation. And when people connect to a crystal skull, they often receive the name of the crystal skull. So I'm going to take you through a very special activation process. It is a guided visualization to form this beautiful connection to your crystal skull and deepen that connection. So we will do that. Okay. All right. So go ahead and take your crystal skull. Okay. And we're going to do this very special activation. So we only need to do this once. And once we do this, then it forms a deeper connection to our crystal skull. So what you would like to do is hold your crystal skull facing towards you. Okay, so that your skull is facing towards you. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in to center yourself. And exhale fully. And take a nice deep breath in again. And exhale. Okay, so this is a guided visualization. If you have trouble visualizing, do not worry. This process will work for you just fine. Just listen to my voice and sink in to the words that I am saying. If you have trouble visualizing, don't worry. It will work for you very, very well. Okay. So as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that it's a warm, sunny day, and you are outside in a beautiful valley holding your crystal skull, the one that you're holding right now. And this beautiful valley is filled with wildflowers, and there are magnificent mountains surrounding you. Feel the sense of beauty, wonder, and peace in this beautiful place. And it feels wonderful and welcoming to be here. All of the beautiful mountains surrounding you, the wildflowers, the sunshine. It's a beautiful place to be. And you look ahead and you see a path before you, and it's leading into the mountains. You feel drawn to walk down the path, and you take your crystal skull with you. And as you approach the mountains, you can see that there's an entrance to a cave in the mountain, and a beautiful light is shining out from the opening of the cave. This beautiful shining light shining out from the opening of the cave. And it feels so inviting. And you can sense that this cave is just filled with positive energy, beautiful energy, light and love. So you walk into the cave and step through the entrance of the cave into this beautiful place. And you see that the cave is filled with dazzling, clear quartz crystals all along the walls, and the ceiling of this cave is just covered in crystals. And it's so beautiful and bright as those crystals radiate so much love and light into the cave and towards you. So just have a look around at those beautiful sparkling quartz crystals all on the surfaces of the walls of the cave and the ceiling of the cave. And as you are looking at those beautiful crystals, you inhale and exhale, absorbing all of the love and all of the peaceful energy of this place. And you feel at peace yourself. And as you look around, you notice that there's a round crystal table in the center of the cave. And on that table is a circle of 12 ancient crystal skulls, all facing into the center of the table. So those skulls are in a circle facing into the center. And you see that those crystal skulls are bright and filled with light, love, healing energy, and wisdom. And walking up to the table now, you see that there is a place in the center for your crystal skull. And you put your crystal skull in that very special spot in the circle of those 12 skulls. You put your skull down there, and your skull is facing towards you right in the center of those 12 ancient skulls. And now that your crystal skull is in the center of those 12 skulls on the table, all at once, each of those 12 ancient skulls radiates a brilliant white healing light towards your crystal skull, just shining light into your crystal skull. And your crystal skull absorbs all of that light from all 12 of those crystal skulls. And your crystal skull becomes bright and activates and illuminates brightly with the healing energies it has received from the ancient crystal skulls. So just let your crystal skull absorb all of that beautiful light shining from those 12 skulls into your crystal skull. And as your crystal skull receives that light, it activates for healing purposes, and it becomes attuned to healing purposes for the highest good, and only the highest good. Sense, see, and feel that your crystal skull is becoming brighter and brighter and more powerful as it absorbs more healing light from the ancient skulls, activating its healing potential. And now you take your crystal skull off of the table and bring it to your heart center, as it is now ready for you to form a special connection to the crystal skull. So holding your crystal skull to your heart center now, sense, see, and feel that your crystal skull is now radiating white healing light and unconditional love into your heart center. Feel your heart expand as it absorbs all of that light from your crystal skull, absorbing all of that love from your crystal skull, and bright, happy energy. All of that light is flowing into your heart. And just let your heart absorb all of those beautiful healing energies of light and love and joy from the crystal skull flowing into your heart center as a beautiful healing white light. Feel your heart filling with gratitude that this crystal skull has chosen to work with you, and feel a special connection forming between you and the crystal skull in this very moment as your heart connects to the infinite wisdom and healing available to you through working with this crystal skull. And now say to your crystal skull, you can repeat after me. Thank you for working with me for the highest good, bringing wisdom, illumination, guidance, and healing. And thank you for choosing me to be a crystal skull guardian for the highest good. In full faith, so be it. And now is the time to ask your crystal skull what its name is, so you can repeat after me. Thank you for sharing your special name with me and the meaning of your name. Thank you for sharing your name with me and the special meaning of your name. And then let your mind be still and perceive the answer. And now you're going to ask your crystal skull what healing purpose it would like to work with you for. Is that personal healing, planetary healing, meditation, divination? So go ahead and ask your crystal skull, repeat after me. What healing purpose do you provide? And let your mind be still and perceive the answer. And now thank your crystal skull for the wisdom it has shared with you. And now it's time to leave the cave. So thank the crystals in the cave and thank the 12 crystal skulls for the special experience that you've had. And then take a nice deep breath in and exhale fully. And as you turn to exit the cave, you step out from the cave, back onto the path, and you walk out into the sunshine, taking with you all of the healing energy from this beautiful experience. And taking another nice deep breath in, as deep as you can, and exhale fully. And just bringing your awareness fully to yourself, to your body, and to the room. And when you feel ready, slowly opening your eyes. All right, very good, excellent. So now your crystal skull is activated for healing purposes. You've now formed a deep connection to the skull. Now we can work with it for healing. So if you got a name of your crystal skull, just type it in the chat box. If you didn't get the name, don't worry, that name might come to you in a dream. It might pop into your mind as a flash of insight later today or over the next few days. So it can come later. This crystal skull, her name is Flora. So that's the name I got when I did this one. All right, good stuff. All right. So you can just type that in the chat box and then we shall carry forward and dive into healing techniques. Okay, so now we've had a little bit of theory in the beginning of our class. Now we're going to dive into actually working with the skull for healing. So the first technique I would like to show you is how to work with emotional healing for yourself. So if you're feeling stressed out, emotional, sad, grumpy, anxious, okay, grieving perhaps, this is a really great technique to help uplift your entire vibration And it gets you out of feeling low, and it alleviates stress for you as well. It helps you to release anger, sadness, anxiety, grief, envy. It also restores you to a lighter, happier, and positive state. We can hold emotional tension and stress in our muscles, our joints, tendons, ligaments, organs, glands, and that can lead to discomfort in those areas, and it can lead to weakness and imbalance. We can also hold negative emotions and stress states in our chakras and the aura, which can also limit our expression of healthy emotions and healthy mental attitudes. Okay, so when we do this healing, we're going to cleanse our body of any areas where we are holding negative emotions and stress. We're going to cleanse any chakras that might be holding on to negative emotions and stress. And we're also going to clear out our aura and cleanse our aura of any pockets where our aura is holding on to negative emotions and stress states. So here's a photo on the left side here of the location of the 7 major chakras. So the root chakra at the base of the pelvis, the sacral chakra below belly button, solar plexus where the ribs meet the sternum, heart chakra, center of the chest. Then we have throat chakra here, right at the base of the neck, the dark blue, and then the third eye chakra here at the forehead, and then crown chakra at the top of the head. Those are the ones that we're going to be focusing on for this technique. And then also on the right side here, we have the photo of the aura, the energy field that surrounds the human body. Okay, so this is just a visual aid to help you when we do this healing technique. Okay, so I'm going to show you a video of how we're going to work with this. So we're going to do this technique in 3 stages. We're going to scan our body of any area that we're holding emotions and stress states. When we scan our body, we're going to scan it with our hand chakra to feel any areas where we're holding that energy. You might feel it as a tingling sensation in your hand chakra. You might feel a heat or cold sensation. Your hand might kind of quiver or vibrate a little bit. So we're going to scan our physical body, and we're going to be working with the crystal skull to help us with that. Then we're going to scan our chakras, starting with the root chakra, working our way up to feel if any of the chakras are holding stress states. And again, we'll feel those sensations in our hand to let us know we've got emotional congestion there. And then we're going to scan our aura, the energy field around us, to scan our aura of any energies there that don't belong, negative emotions and stress that we need to release. So I'm going to show you a video with this because it's easier for me to show you. I can't stand up in this room very well. So I'm going to show you the video of how we do the scanning technique, and then we will do this healing technique and scanning technique together. Okay, so here we go. I just need to get this up here, guys. Just give me 1 second here. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I say to the skull, this is for scanning the body. Thank you for helping me to be any aware of where I'm holding tension and emotions in my body. And then I scan my body, and I can feel I'm holding something in my shoulder, some negative emotion there and around the stomach area. I feel it as tingling sensations. And then I feel something there in my knee. I have a tingling sensation there. So I have 3 areas there. And now I hold the skull and I say, thank you for helping me to scan for any of my chakras where I'm holding emotional tension. And then I scan my root chakra to feel any sensations there. If I feel tingling, sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, heart chakra. Scanning the throat chakra for any sensations in my hand, scanning the third eye chakra and crown chakra. If I feel any sensations in my hands, it means I have energy congestion there. And then scanning the aura. Thank you for helping me to scan the aura so that I can feel for any areas of emotional congestion and stress. So I scan the top of my aura, working my way down. I feel something in that area there, working my way down. Tingling sensation down there as well. Okay. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so that, are we clear on that? So just raise your hands. Are we clear on that technique? So you hold the skull in your hand facing you, and then with your hand chakra, you're going to scan your body first. We're going to scan our chakras and our aura. If you feel any tingling in the hand, heat, cold energy, little quiver, that all means that you've got a negative emotion or stress in that area. Okay, so go ahead and stand up. Give yourself a little room here, okay? And we're going to do this together. Okay, so you're going to hold the skull in your hands facing towards you. And we're going to speak a healing intention to the skull to bring about the type of healing effect that we want to achieve. So please repeat after me, saying to your skull, thank you for helping me to be aware of any areas of my body and chakras and aura where I'm holding stress and emotional tension. And thank you for releasing this emotional tension completely. In full faith, so be it. Okay, so now holding the crystal skull with one hand, skull facing towards you, with your other hand, hand chakra, you're going to scan your body. So scan down your body from your head down to your feet. Any areas of your physical body where you're holding emotional tension. So you might feel that in your hand, like a tingling sensation, heat, cold, or quivering. You're just getting information now, just to know where those areas are on the body, where you're holding that tension, that emotional congestion, that stress. Okay, just working your way down. Okay. Very good. So now that you've felt those areas, hold the skull facing towards you, and we're going to say to the skull, repeat after me, thank you for easing and releasing all stress and emotional tension from these areas of my body. In full faith, so be it. And now, as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that a pink healing light is flowing out from the skull's eyes into the area of your body where you felt the tension or discomfort. So as you breathe, sense, see, and feel that the skull, through its eyes, is shining pink healing light into your body, into those areas where you felt stress and emotions, dissolving them completely. So you might see those emotional energies or stress energies like a gray fog in the body. And when all of that pink light flowing from the skull's eyes into the body dissolves that completely, releasing all stress, all emotional tension. So you can hold the skull to those areas of the body and let it flow, that pink healing light from its eyes into that area, dissolving all of that emotional tension, letting all of that go. Then just go on to the next area. Maybe you felt one area in the body, maybe you felt 2 or 3 areas where there was that emotional tension. And just go to the next area and just let all of that pink light flow from the skull's eyes into that area of the body, dissolving all of that emotional tension. Okay. So just take another minute now just to let all of that pink light flowing from the skull's eyes into your body, dissolving any other areas where you're holding emotional tension or stress. All right. So now we're going to do the scanning of the chakras. So holding the skull in your hand facing towards you with your other hand chakra, placing over your root chakra a couple of inches away, and just scan, see if you're holding any tension there. So you might feel tingling sensations, heat or cold in your hand. So just feel if you feel any emotional congestion there. And then going to the sacral chakra just below your belly button, and sense, see, and feel any tension there. Yep. Okay, and then flowing up to the solar plexus where your ribs meet the sternum, and see if you feel any emotional tension there. Any tingling in your hand or heat or cold. Okay. And then heart chakra. See if you sense anything there in your heart chakra. Okay. And throat chakra, just scanning there, see if you feel anything in the throat chakra. Good. And then third eye chakra right at your forehead, see if you feel anything there. Okay, and then crown chakra at the top of your head. See if you feel anything there. Good. Okay. Okay, so now take the skull and facing towards you and hold it to the first chakra where you felt tension. So maybe you felt tension in the sacral chakra or the throat chakra. So go ahead and hold the skull to where you felt that in one of your chakras. And as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that a beautiful pink healing light is flowing from the skull's eyes into that chakra, dissolving all stress and emotional tension. So you might sense, see, and feel that emotional tension like a gray, foggy energy in the chakra. And all of that is dissolving, and the beautiful pink healing light flowing from the skull into that chakra. And feel that chakra brightening and coming back into balance so that it is bright, strong, and healthy. And then if there was another chakra that was holding congestion, go ahead and hold that skull to another chakra where you have felt congestion there, emotional congestion and stress. And as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that the skull is shining that beautiful pink healing light from its eyes into that chakra, dissolving all stress and emotional tension. And that the chakra is becoming brighter and clear and vibrant. Just let all of that pink light flow from the skull into that chakra, cleansing all emotional congestion there. Good. Okay, and then if there's any other chakras that you felt energy there, you can hold the chakra to the next, hold the crystal skull to the next chakra, and just let all of that beautiful pink healing light flow from its eyes into that chakra, dissolving all stress and emotional tension. And then as you breathe, sense, see, and feel that that chakra is becoming lighter and brighter and healthy, strong and vibrant. Okay. And then now we're going to move on to the aura. So taking the crystal skull facing towards you, taking your hand facing towards your aura, and with your hand chakra, scanning your aura from head down to your feet of any areas in your aura where you might be holding emotional tension and stress. And again, you'll feel that in your hand as a tingling sensation or heat or cold or a slight vibration or a pressure. Just working your way down, seeing if there's any areas of your aura where you're holding stress and emotional tension. Okay, so just scanning your aura now. Okay. Okay, so then now holding the skull facing your aura. And as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel all of that beautiful pink healing light flowing out of the eyes of the crystal skull into your aura, dissolving all of that emotional tension and stress. So you might see that stress energy, those negative emotions like foggy energy, gray foggy energy. And as that beautiful pink light flows into it, it dissolves and releases out of your aura, releasing all of that stress and emotional energy. So just let the crystal skull flow that beautiful pink healing light into your aura, dissolving all of that emotional tension and stress. And as you breathe, feel your aura becoming bright and coming back into balance so that it is super bright and colorful and sparkling with healing energy. And as you breathe, sense, see, and feel that the pink healing light from the crystal skull is flowing into your entire aura now, cleansing it completely and raising your vibration to a high and positive state. So that all of that pink light flowing from the crystal skull, flowing into your aura, cleansing it completely and raising your vibration to a nice, high, bright, and positive state. And now hold the crystal skull to your heart center, so right in the center of your chest. And as you breathe deeply, feel and sense that a pink healing light is flowing from the skull's eyes into your heart center, filling you with calming and healing energy. And feel your heart center expand and blossom with unconditional love and happiness. And as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel your entire being from head to toe, as well as your aura, filling with that pink healing light flowing from the skull's eyes into you, and raising your vibration to a higher, brighter, and more blissful state. Feel yourself become completely relaxed, peaceful, and at ease once again. And taking a nice deep breath in and exhale. Beautiful. And then slowly opening your eyes. All right, very good, everyone. So go ahead and have a seat. And we're just going to open it up for a little share. I would love you to share what that technique was like for you, doing those healing techniques. What did you feel or notice as you were doing that healing? So Dana, if you don't mind, let's go to you. I'll call on a couple of you. So let's go to you, Dana.
Okay, well, my hand actually started buzzing, and I had not felt that before. And let's see, as I used my other hand to go down my chakras, I could tell where I was holding like nervous tension kind of throughout my whole body. But I felt buzzing with almost all of my chakras, except for my root chakra, especially my crown chakra and my third eye. But when I used this practice, all of my worries and everything just melted away. I've never had it happen like that before, where it's just everything melting away. And yeah, I just felt such a peaceful and loving feeling. Yeah, it was really great. So,
nice.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for sharing. That was a very beautiful experience that you had. So thank you for sharing. And Jennifer, let's go to you.
I was afraid you were going to call on me. Unfortunately, the experience that I had, or fortunately, whatever, I definitely could sense which parts of me were, it felt almost heavy and like a thick like thick. I don't know how to describe it, but the healing part, I felt like I just need more time. So it wasn't as exuberant as I would like to be, as Tina was. um, but I feel like with time, it would definitely help more.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I appreciate what you mentioned, because when you do this on your own, you know, in the days following or whenever you want to do this technique, you can spend as much time as you would like doing it. Sometimes there can be more energy congestion that we might be holding. There's some days we might be holding less. So you can make this as short or as long as a process that you would like for what you need on that day. So as a homework assignment, I encourage you to just practice that and, you know, take as much time as you need to do it. We are in a class, so we have a bit of a time schedule to keep in the class, but please, you know, you can make it a 10-minute process. You could make it a half an hour process. You could do it for an hour if you like, whatever that you need in the moment. So yeah, so thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate hearing that. Yeah,
Thank you.
excellent. And let's go to one more. Tatiana, how about you?
Yes, I actually, I guess I'm kind of in between, because I did enjoy, of course, as always, but for me, I cannot process information when someone is talking and to meditate at the same time. Like I don't, so probably the second time would be easier. So I felt like it was fast. I thought, like, should I scan chakras or not at first? So what was the difference, Christa, between first and third scanning? Because we did the body first. I thought we are scanning chakra aura, right? We were not?
Yes, so we did body first, chakra second, number 3, the aura.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So I confused but anyway, so I did definitely felt the hand getting a bit more like tingly and heavier on some areas. So I'll work more on them later. But I also felt that because my crystal is so tiny, right? It just became the hand with it at some point in the middle became like, it just was telling me to cleanse it, cleanse it, cleanse it. I don't know, maybe it's my mind, but I felt like it's too much for work for that little thing. Like probably it's good to do with such a small stone, maybe in portions.
Okay.
So I'll rewatch her later, and I'll definitely, I like the practice. My only question was like, how would you scan the back? Because I felt like the back should be also,
yeah, like the back of your aura,
yeah,
or even the back of your body now, depending on how flexible you are. You might be
right.
able to reach, you might not be able to
Yes,
reach,
yes.
but it's okay, because even if you can't reach back here, you can hold the skull facing towards you and just, you know, even without moving your hand down, because if you can't move your hand down, you can mentally scan back there, and you still might feel the sensation in your hand up here, but your awareness is down, let's say on the lower portion of your aura or lower back if you're scanning the body. So you can still do that too, or you can still scan from the front but put your awareness on the back of the body. Okay, so if you're scanning the physical body, or if you're scanning the aura, you can scan it from the front and feel for the front, go down a second time, but put your awareness for the back of the aura.
Yeah, that
and
makes
you can
sense.
scan back there, right?
I have a question. Let's say if I find someone, a friend or someone, I think I really like this. We've been in isolation for so long, right? Like to do something with in person, to try scanning the body, and I can do on someone just to practice scanning, right? And healing. But they would have to give me feedback probably, right? Like what they feel. And maybe I'll ask a friend, because I feel like to have it overall like more of a complete.
My suggestion would be is practice on yourself first, because you can go as fast, as slow as you want, and really just sink into what you feel. So that is the best place to start. Practice that, you know, as many times as you need to get comfortable with that. When we are doing this class,
easier than feeling the light. So
and when we are doing this class, we are focusing on self-healing. So it's important to really focus on practicing on yourself first. Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing. That's great. So let's carry forward. Good work, all of you. And let's now move on to the next technique. All right. Okay, so now that we've done emotional healing, Now we're going to talk about healing for the physical body. So this is really good to heal anything that's out of balance with your physical health, to boost your overall well-being and vitality energy. So if you're feeling a little bit tired, run down, this will help to give you a good boost that way. So it helps to improve your energy levels, and this technique can be really rejuvenating. So if you've been working long hours or you're feeling fatigued, this will help to give you a nice lift of rejuvenating energy. And this can also encourage cellular healing, stimulating a youthful and glowing appearance. So helping you to hold more youthful energy, also helping you to have that nice glowing energy. And you can also work with this technique to do general healing for the physical body or target a specific problem area. So if you have knee pain, you can target the knee. If you have digestion problems, you can target digestion. If you have neck tension, you can also target the neck specifically. So if you have a physical illness or area of pain in the body, you can work with it for a specific body area. Or if you have thyroid imbalance, you could work on it for healing the thyroid. Okay, so this is a really nice technique for physical healing. So go ahead and take your crystal skull and hold the crystal skull facing towards you, and close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in to center yourself. And exhale. Good. And we're going to speak a healing intention to the crystal skull to bring about the healing effect that we would like to achieve working with the skull. So please repeat after me. Thank you for infusing my physical body with healing energy to restore balance and vitality so that I am strong and healthy. In full faith, so be it. And now, as you hold the crystal skull, sense, see, and feel that there's a sparkling green healing light flowing from the skull's eyes and face into your body. So as you breathe, sense, see, and feel that there's a sparkling green healing light flowing from the skull's eyes and face and into your body. And as you breathe, sense, see, and feel this green healing light is infusing you with life force energy to heal you and strengthen you completely. Sense, see, and feel all areas of your body are receiving healing energy, and especially where you need it most. Sense, see, and feel that beautiful green healing light flowing from the skull into the cells of your body, strengthening the cells. And also as you breathe, allow any areas of your body where you have any physical pain or where you have any illness in your body, let those areas absorb all of that beautiful green healing light from the skull, so that all of that green healing light is also flowing into there, into those areas even more. And as you breathe, sense, see, and feel even more of that beautiful green healing light flowing into your physical body from head to toe, flowing into all of the cells of your body, stimulating healing, stimulating cellular repair so that your body can heal, repair, regenerate, and rejuvenate. And if you have any areas of your body where you have pain or illness, just let all of that green healing light flow from the skull's eyes into those areas, and just let those areas soak up all of that beautiful green healing light, stimulating healing of those areas very deeply. And as you breathe, sense, see, and feel each cell of your body absorbing that green healing light so that each cell is strong, vibrant, and healthy. And that the body is regenerating and creating healthy cells. And as you breathe, sense, see, and feel that the crystal skull is radiating even more green healing light into you, and that it's filling your body from head to toe. And just allow your entire body to be bathed in that healing light, healing you, rejuvenating you, restoring your energy levels and stamina. So just let your body soak up even more of that beautiful healing light flowing from the crystal skull. Feel your physical body becoming stronger, healthier, and vibrant. And taking a nice deep breath in and exhale. And just allow your body to absorb even more of that green healing light, strengthening your body, strengthening you, strengthening your energy levels and stamina, strengthening all of the cells of your body so that your body can heal and recover, being strong and healthy. And taking one more nice deep breath in and exhale, and slowly opening your eyes. All right, good work, everyone. All right, so let's just open it up for a share. I would like to go around and just call on a few of you just to share what that technique was like for you. What did you notice or feel during that technique? So Ram, let's go to you this time. How was that for you? You just need to unmute yourself.
I would say that the light had a vibration and energy about it, which I actually breathed in. It reminds me of when I walk through the coffee shop in the morning. There's a tree that's all the leaves are turning yellow and the sun shines through it. And I stand underneath the tree and it's like I'm breathing that yellow light, that sunlight that's coming through the tree, through the leaves. And it was the same with this exercise that, and when I saw felt imagined the green light, it was like being under that tree where the whole space around me was filled with green light and I was just breathing it in, absorbing it. And there's just a sense of radiance inside the body. It was just very peaceful, joy, actually joyful in the body.
Nice, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. That's great. Beautiful experience. I like your, analogy there of the tree as well. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's great. Yeah, and Savita, let's go to you. How was that technique for you?
Yeah, this technique is wonderful, and I felt in altered state of mind, and I entered in another state. And when you said just relax, slowly open your eyes, just then only I come to know. Okay, ma'am is telling to open the eyes. Suddenly I come back.
Yeah,
That's all.
nice,
So it's
beautiful.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much
One
for
thing, another one thing I want to mention in this class, everyone will come to know this technique and unique thing happened with me, which is very, very important. So I want to share. The thing is, when I started healing, it automatically started involuntary. My style is involuntary. So this is automatically happened to me. when I want to do healing. So it is very nice. And the day when first day I have taken this skull in my hand, I don't know the technique. Yes, what to do, how to do, all those questions are there in mind. Suddenly, just I kept this skull in my hand and I asked, let us see what to do. You tell me what to do. Suddenly, what happened? My right hand tapped on the top of this head, just like stopping, and the in front of my daughter is there. Just tapped, and I kept a hand to her body, tapping and keeping. Head tapping, right side, yeah, left side, wherever tapping is required. Automatically, I'm tapping the positions and keeping on her body parts. Means these parts are connected. Tapping and her body parts are interconnected. This, what is this happening, how this happening, who is working behind this, who is guiding me, still today I don't know. It is a mystery.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So in
Yes.
the, crystal skull healing community, one idea, I only present one idea. I don't know, I can't say for sure, but one idea is like, the beautiful healing spirit of the skull is directing, that healing in a beautiful way for what is needed in that moment. So
Yes, ma'am.
so that could be one idea. So thank you for sharing that.
Sometime,
That's interesting.
sometime it tells me to turn, rotate, keep me like this and send me like this. Sometime like this also. Eye socket also. Hold my eye socket. Then send
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
So different strokes are there which are really unlimited. And when I get tired, I say, okay, I want to stop. I'm tired. I want to stop. By force, I have to stop. Otherwise, continuous healing process, healing moment are there, continuous. And it's
Interesting.
wonderful. Really
Yeah,
wonderful.
I like that because, it's also the skull working from different angles, sending healing light from different angles. So that could happen. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. That's beautiful. All right. So let's carry forward. And I really appreciate hearing your experiences. And as you practice these, techniques on your own, you're going to have all kinds of different experiences as you practice. So good work, everyone. So let's carry forward. And let's dive into the next technique. Okay, so this technique that I would love to share with you is about receiving guidance. So people often report that they can receive guidance when working with crystal skulls. And this technique that we're going to do helps to open your third eye chakra in your forehead here to enhance clarity, intuition, and insight so that your intuition is more clear, that your psychic ability is more clear. And it also helps you to access your own inner wisdom to receive insight on how to solve a problem or what best action step you need to take to help a situation. Okay, so this is really good to tap into your own intuition, the inner wisdom of your heart to help you. So I would like you to think about a question about your own personal life. So you can't ask a question about someone else's life, your own personal life of something that you would like an answer to. So I'll give you some examples. So for instance, what career choice is best for me? What school should I attend? How can I heal my relationship with my mother or my sister or my child? What healthful changes can I make to restore balance to my life? Or a problem that you would like to solve. So just take a minute and just write down what your question is so that you're clear on what the question is. Okay. So a nice, clear, concise question. Even a good one, like a general question, if you're having trouble coming up with one, is what is a good healthful change that I can make in my life to bring me healing? So that's always a good one. Okay. Okay, so just raise your hands. I can see you. Do you have a question written down? Yeah, okay, good. All right, so now that you are clear on the question, this is how we do this technique. Okay, so take your crystal skull, have your crystal skull facing towards you, close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in to center yourself. And exhale fully. Good. And you're going to speak in intention to the crystal skull. So please repeat after me. Thank you for opening and strengthening my third eye chakra so that I may receive clarity, insight, and wisdom to the question that I seek for my highest good. In full faith, so be it. And now, as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that there's a shimmering purple healing light flowing from the third eye chakra of the crystal skull into the third eye chakra for you, located right between your eyebrows. And as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that beautiful purple light flowing from the third eye chakra of the skull, crystal skull, into your third eye chakra. And that purple light is cleansing your third eye chakra of all confusion, releasing all energy blockages there that can be limiting clarity to your question. So just let your third eye chakra soak up that purple healing light from the crystal skull, cleansing your third eye chakra, strengthening your third eye chakra so it becomes a brilliant purple color, shining and bright, strengthening your intuition, and also strengthening the clarity of your intuition. So just let your third eye chakra soak up even more of that beautiful purple light from the crystal skull, strengthening your third eye chakra, strengthening your intuition. And now, as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that the crystal skull is flowing white healing light from its eyes, and that white healing light flows into your head and filling your mind with white light to open up your receptivity to receive the answer to your question, and helping your mind to be clear and receptive and peaceful so that you can receive the answer to the question. So as you breathe, sense, see, and feel all of that white light flowing from the eyes of the crystal skull into your mind, filling your mind with that beautiful white healing light so that your mind is clear and at peace, and it opens up your receptivity to receive the answer. Okay. So now go ahead and state your question to the crystal skull. So you can speak your question out loud. You can say your question silently in your mind. Go ahead and say your question and then let your mind be still to perceive the answer. And that answer might pop into your mind. You might see flashes of insight. So now go ahead and state your question. And now let your mind be still and perceive the answer. And now taking a nice deep breath in, as deep as you can. And exhale. And then slowly opening your eyes. Okay, very good. So just know that the answer might have come to you, okay? But as you go through the rest of the day, the answer might have come just now in this technique, or you might have more flashes of insight as you go about your day today. You might have more information of that answer come to you in your mind. You might even have more of that answer come to you in a dream over the next few days as well. Or even tomorrow, you could be doing a daily activity and more of that answer pops into your mind. So now that you've opened up your intuition, your inner wisdom, you might even receive more information that gives you the answer to that question. Okay, so good work, everyone. So I would love to open it up just for a little share, just to share what your experience was like doing that technique. Now, you don't have to share your question with us because it can be a bit of a personal thing, or you don't have to share the answer, but just what your technique was like doing that. So Dana, let's go to you this time.
Well, when I asked what would be a helpful practice for me to add, it automatically told me to love myself and love myself some more. And so then I decided to ask what career I should do. And I was shown writing, write about my personal journey, write about my transformation of negative emotions, even my view of the world. And that kind of surprised me because I was expecting more of a different kind of healing for other people. But the answers came just very clear, and that was really impressive for me. Very powerful.
Nice. Excellent. Thank you for sharing, Dana. And I just want to read Dana's comment in the chat box here about the previous technique, the one that we did before. My skull healed the underlying issues behind my pain eased, and I was left with the vibration of happiness. So that technique for physical healing. So thank you for sharing that as well, Dana, in the chat box. I appreciate hearing both of your experiences in those techniques. That's great. Beautiful. And Ram, let's go to you. How is that technique for you? You just need to unmute, yeah.
It was really wonderful. And what happened was that it referred me to the Hermit Tarot card. My question was, how to bless all beings on the earth. And what came was, be the light. It doesn't need to be intention, just walk in the light, and then referred me to the Hermit, which, are you familiar with him holding the light? It was beautiful.
Wow, that's amazing. I like that. And then I like how that image of the Hermit tarot card. So if you don't know the Hermit is this beautiful old sage, wise character holding a beautiful lantern, shining light everywhere. So that is beautiful. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing. That's wonderful. Excellent. All right. And let's go to one more. Tatiana, how about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I mean, I think the answer might come more, but it was pretty straightforward. So my answer, actually, my question was about how I can find like a love partner, for a relationship and to be happy together. What can I do for that? So within 3 weeks, I mean, at first I thought 3 months, but then I thought, no, that's too long. Anyways, it was just like, just be there. And I didn't understand where, but I suppose it's more about being in the moment rather than trying to, predict or stop yourself from doing something, because I'm not into dating and things like that. So, and also it said be yourself, and it's enough to be yourself. And lots of people need your love, but it wasn't love specifically or man, woman, but in general, right? So that through that I can share that and be generous, but be authentic as well, true to what I am, what is precious to me, right? So
Wow, that's great. That's beautiful wisdom that came through in the answer to that question. Thank you for sharing that,
that's
Tatiana.
encouraging, yeah, because
Yeah.
I've been procrastinating for a long time.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. That's wonderful. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So really good insight can come from doing this. And especially it's so great when you have any kind of challenge or problem that you need to solve, or you need some quick insight for something, you can do this technique to be able to get that. So thank you for sharing, everyone. Good work. All right. So let's carry forward. And we are now going to talk about ancestral healing. So this is a really beautiful technique to clear any limiting beliefs or negative beliefs that you might have absorbed or inherited from your ancestors. And these limiting beliefs can limit success in career. They can limit success in finances, also limit success in relationships and even health. So even when we work with this technique, we can work with biological ancestors. And even if you're adopted, you can also absorb any limiting beliefs from your adoptive family, and biological family can also be cleared in this. So we can work with both types of family there, or even if you have a step parent, okay, and you have a stepmom, stepdad, step parent, you can also absorb limiting beliefs from that side of your step family as well. So we can clear these limiting beliefs from biological family, step family that we inherit, as well as adoptive family. Okay, so we can clear it at all levels of those. So let's talk now about some examples of inherited limiting beliefs. So this is a list that are the most common examples that I hear from people. So some of these might resonate for you, or you might have one of these limiting beliefs pop into your mind that you would like to work with for this technique. So here's some examples. The people in my family, we can never get ahead. So we can't get ahead financially, we can't get ahead in career. It's like we can never get ahead in life. The people in my family, we can't keep a job for long. Or people in my family, we get fired from our job all the time, or we lose our jobs. The people in my family, we attract cheating partners. The people in my family were always taken advantage of by others. The people in my family, we lose money easily. The people in my family, we get depressed easily. The people in my family, we worry about everything. So this would be a pattern of anxiety. We worry about everything. The people in my family, we think life is a struggle. The people in my family are selfish and don't care about others. So these are the most common ones that I hear from my clients when I work with them for healing sessions. So on a piece of paper, go ahead and write down one limiting belief that you have in your family. It could be something that you've heard your parents or other family members say a lot. Could be money. It's hard to make money. It's hard to keep a job. Hard to be happy, like any of those. So go ahead and write one down. So maybe something on this list or another one that pops into your mind. Okay, so just take a minute to write that down. And it's so important we clear these because it can really sabotage success, okay? Even at the level of the conscious mind, level of the subconscious. So we want to clear that. Okay, so just raise your hand so I can see. Do you have a limiting belief to work with that you would like to clear? Yep. Okay. All right, so now that you have identified that limiting belief, you're going to take your crystal skull, hold it facing towards you, close your eyes to take a nice deep breath in to center yourself, and exhale fully. And we're going to speak a healing intention to the crystal skull. So please repeat after me. Thank you for helping me to clear and release this inherited family belief. And now go ahead and say what that belief is. So read what you wrote. Okay, now repeat after me. Thank you for helping me to find the ancestor where this belief originated from, so that this belief can be released from them, released from my family line, and released from me. In full faith, so be it. And now, as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that a beautiful silver white healing light is flowing from the skull's eyes, flowing into the front of your body, flowing through your body and behind you and out from the back of your body into the past. So as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel a beautiful silver white healing light flowing from the skull's eyes, flowing into the front of your body, flowing through your body, and that light is coming out from the back of your body and flowing out behind you into the past. And as you see this current of light flowing out from the back of your body into the past, sense, see, and feel either your mother or your father appear in the current of light behind you. As the current of light is finding that ancestor where this negative belief originated from. So as you breathe, sense, see, and feel the current of white light flowing through your parents behind you, flowing into grandparents, into great-grandparents, flowing deeper into past generations of your family. And that current of light keeps flowing backwards in time through your ancestors to find the ancestor where the limiting belief originally formed. And you will know that ancestor when you find them, because the current of light will stop flowing and instead form a circle of light around that ancestor who created that belief in the first place. So just let that current of light flow through your body, back through you, back through your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, until that ancestor is found. And when that ancestor is found, that beautiful white silver light will flow all around that ancestor in a circle, identifying them. And once that ancestor has been identified and that circle of silver white light is flowing all around them, sense, see, and feel all of that healing light is spiraling through that ancestor, cleansing them and dissolving all of that negative limiting belief from them until it's gone completely. So sense, see, and feel that beautiful silver light, that white light, flowing all around that ancestor, spiraling around them, spiraling through them, cleansing and dissolving that inherited belief until it is gone from that ancestor completely. And now, as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel all of that cleansing happening for that ancestor, just cleansing all of that belief, releasing it completely. And that ancestor becomes brighter and lighter as they are now completely cleansed. And as you breathe, sense, see, and feel that silver white healing light is flowing now forward in time from that ancestor, flowing forward in time through all the generations of your ancestors, cleansing each one of those ancestors as that light flows through them, cleansing each person of your family, cleansing them of that limiting belief as that light works its way back to you. So all of that light is flowing now through all of the generations of your family, cleansing them of all of that negative belief until that white light comes back to you. And as all of that silver white light flows now through the family line, through all of the generations, cleansing each family member of that negative belief. And now sense, see, and feel that beautiful silver white light flowing back to you now and flowing all around you and through you as a beautiful spiral of light, cleansing you of that negative belief and releasing it from you completely. So as all of that white silver light flows through you and around you, it cleanses that limiting belief from you now as well. That light cleansed it from your original ancestor that created that belief. It now cleansed it from your family line of all of your family members and now cleansing you. So sense, see, and feel all of that white light flowing through you and around you, cleansing you of that negative belief. And then now turning the skull to face outwards so that the face of the skull is pointing outwards from you now. Good. And as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that the skull is flowing that beautiful silver white light out in front of you into future generations. So if you have children, let that white light flow to them, just cleansing that belief as it moves through them. Any grandchildren you might have flowing through grandchildren. If you don't have children, just letting that white light flow into the future, into future generations. If you have siblings that have children or cousins that have children, or just out in the future, just to cleanse it from the future completely. And then sense, see, and feel the future cleansed, all future generations, and just everything is cleansed now completely. And taking a nice deep breath in and exhale. And then slowly opening your eyes. All right, very good, excellent. All right, so let's just open it up for a share. I'll just call on one person because we still have 2 techniques here to go. So Jennifer, how was that for you?
It was incredible. My belief was that life is too hard. And I actually saw all the way back to shadows on a cave wall and a baby being born and dying because it took on its mother's pain. And that's where that belief started. And it's been in my family since then.
Wow,
And I felt so incredibly healed from that. Because it's a burden that we have carried around for generations.
wow, that's incredible, Jennifer. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing that, you
Thank
went
you
back.
thank you for doing that technique with us. That was amazing.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you for really sharing that experience. So you went back in time very deep. And then, that image came to you of like how that was created. And that can happen when we do this technique, that you might get an image of how that belief or why that belief was created, and then cleansing that through your family line. Now, Jennifer is going to, lighten all of that burden that, you all have been carrying of that belief. And now things will shift for the better. Life will become now more easier, life flowing in a really good way. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate hearing
Thank
that.
you. And for carrying it on to future generations. That part's important too. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for sharing. That's beautiful, beautiful experience. So the more you start to think about these limiting beliefs, the more you're going to uncover. So you can practice this technique anytime on your own as you uncover another limiting belief and want to release that for you and your family. So that will be a nice homework assignment for you as well. And then I'm just going to read what Tatiana wrote in the chat box here. Beautiful techniques and meditations. I felt the last ones were especially powerful, felt healing energy stronger. Beautiful, Tatiana. Thank you for sharing that in the chat box. That's great. Good work. So let's now carry forward. And we're going to now talk about a beautiful technique that helps with environmental healing. So this technique is really good to help transmute negative energy in the environment. So whether that's a room in your home or your home, and it also helps to clear any negative emotional energy that could be in a space. So for instance, if you had an argument with someone in your home and that angry energy is kind of built up there, this technique will help to cleanse that anger from the environment, from your home, and infuse your home with healing energy, light, and love. Also, this technique helps to heal past trauma that might have happened in a location and also in the environment. So for instance, if there was a car accident, on the corner near your home, let's say, this can clear the energy of that car accident and release it from that location and heal the trauma that happened there. We can also work with this technique to send healing into the world in cases of natural disasters, man-made disasters, war, etc. And best if we use a crystal grid of 13 crystal skulls, which I'll show you next, but we can work with one crystal skull for that as well. Okay, so to do this technique, go ahead and take your crystal skull and just think about a place that needs healing. So you could just choose the room that you're in for this technique, okay? Just to make it easy, just choose the room that you're in, because we need something to work with for this, so just choose your room. And hold the crystal skull and say to the skull, repeat after me. Thank you for healing this room and clearing all negative energy from this room and clearing any past trauma so that this room and space is healthy, full of light, brightness, and love. In full faith, so be it. And now, as you breathe deeply, express love and gratitude to your crystal skull for bringing healing to this room. And as you breathe deeply, sense, see, and feel that you are radiating love and gratitude from your heart center out into the crystal skull. And the crystal skull is absorbing all of that loving energy that you are flowing into the crystal skull. So just let your heart center flow that love into the skull, and the crystal skull is absorbing all of that beautiful love energy. And as the skull absorbs that love becomes stronger and amplified. It's healing energy. Love has a beautiful healing vibe. It becomes stronger and amplified once the skull absorbs that. So just flow even more love from your heart center into the crystal skull. And as the crystal skull absorbs that loving energy, sense, see, and feel the crystal skull becoming brighter and brighter and fully illuminated with light. Sense, see, and feel the crystal skull sparkling with light and love and bright. And now you can take the crystal skull and take a nice deep breath in and open your eyes. And now that the skull has absorbed all of that beautiful loving energy, the skull amplifies that love, amplifies the healing power of love. And now the crystal skull is going to radiate that beautiful loving energy into the space. When that loving energy radiates out into the space, it cleanses all negative stress energies, all negative emotions or traumas from that space, and also filling it with light and love so that it raises the vibration of that space. So now go ahead and put that skull down in the room. So I'm just going to put it here on my desk. And then as you look at the skull, sense, see, and feel that the skull is radiating beautiful healing light out into the room, out into the environment. And sense, see, and feel that love is cleansing all negativity, all negative emotions and stress states from the room and transmuting it into light and love. And as you breathe deeply, just sense, see, and feel that the room is beginning to sparkle with all of that healing energy, that the room becomes brighter and more sparkling. And just feel the vibration of the room just lift into a nice, high, bright state. Very good. Okay, so now the crystal skull is here, just doing its healing work, okay, radiating the healing energy into the room. All right, good stuff. So this is something that is really good to bring healing to your home, to your neighborhood, anything like that. So I would charge that skull with loving energy every day or every couple of days, just to keep that energy really big, bright, and strong. So if you live with other people who are going through stress or emotions, then you can then do this technique, repeat it daily or every few days, just to keep the vibe of the home at a really nice, high, bright vibration. Okay, so good stuff. All right, so now we're going to talk about working with a grid of 13 skulls. So just show of hands, can you see the skull grid on the screen along with me? Yep, okay, so just leave your screen in that position. So we have our skull here. So we're going to work with the center skull as a smoky quartz skull. And we're also going to work with 12 skulls that are about the same size in rose quartz. So this is the grid that I've set up here. Now, the grid is so good because when we work with a crystal grid in this way, 13 skulls, it helps to direct healing to world events. And the grid amplifies and directs that healing energy to a specific event. So that could be a natural disaster, man-made disaster. It could send also for healing for the pandemic, for humanity. And what we need to do is write on a piece of paper what the event is that is in need of healing. And we place that piece of paper underneath the center skull. Okay, and then we charge the grid with healing intention. So on a piece of paper here, I'm just going to write down a world event. I saw in the news that we had an oil spill off of the coast of California. So we're going to work with that one. Okay, so on my piece of paper, I'm going to write oil spill, coast of California. And we're in October 2021. Okay, so I write the date. It's good to have the date on there as well. Okay, so I've written that on my piece of paper, and we're going to fold up the paper and I'm going to put it right in the center here. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it there. And then now I'm going to take the center skull, okay, the one that I have in the center. And what we're going to do now is speak a healing intention here to the skull. So I'll take the skull, the center one, and I will hold it right to my heart chakra, my heart center. And then just take a nice deep breath in to center myself. And exhale. And I will say to the skull, may this event of the oil spill off the coast of California be blessed and healed with light and love, bringing healing to the ocean, bringing healing to all of the ocean's creatures and plant life, bringing healing to the shore and also the people involved in cleaning up the oil spill, for the highest good of all. In full faith, so be it. And now, as I breathe deeply, I will sense, see, and feel that a beautiful golden healing light is flowing from my heart center into the crystal skull. And just let the crystal skull absorb all of that beautiful golden healing light flowing from my heart center into the crystal skull. And that beautiful golden energy is holding the vibration of love and infusing love into the crystal skull as I flow that beautiful golden light from my heart center into the skull, charging up the skull with that beautiful golden loving energy. Okay, so I do that, and then I take the skull. Once that's done, place it in the center of the grid. Now we're going to repeat the process with each of the 12 skulls. Okay, so I take one of the skulls, hold it to my heart center, and repeat. So I will say, thank you for healing the oil spill off of the coast of California. And then I will sense, see, and feel myself flowing that beautiful golden light from my heart center into the crystal skull. And that the crystal skull is absorbing all of that beautiful golden loving light. Charging up that skull with that golden light and that love energy. Okay, so then I put it back as part of the grid. And then I'm going to repeat this for each one of these skulls, taking it to my heart center, infusing it with that beautiful, loving golden light from my heart, and then putting it back. Okay, so I'm not going to do it for all 13 because this is going to take some time, right? But we do it for each of those skulls. Okay, so we do the center one first, and then we do that process, repeating it for all of the smaller 12 skulls. Okay, so once that is complete, then what we do, okay, so now that that is complete, and we've charged up all of the skulls here with that golden light and that healing vibe, now we will touch the center skull. So we'll touch it, hold it, and then repeat our healing intention for the grid. So I will say, may this event of the oil spill off the coast of California be blessed and healed with light and love. The water, the ocean's creatures, plant life, the shore, be blessed and healed with light and love. In full faith, so be it. And then I will say that same statement touching each of these small 12 skulls. So I will say, may this event of the oil spill off California be blessed and healed with light and love. May this event of the oil spill off the coast of California be blessed and healed with light and love. Then going to the next skull. May this oil spill off the coast of California be blessed and healed with light and love. Okay, so I repeat that, touching every one of the skulls, repeating that statement until I've done it for all the skulls. Once that is done, now I'm going to pick up the center skull, okay, and pointing it down to look at one of the small skulls. So this skull is looking at this one, okay? And then as I breathe deeply, I sense, see, and feel that through the skull's eyes is flowing a beautiful beam of golden light into this skull here, okay? And then I move the skull in clockwise circles. So as I look at the grid, this is clockwise for me. And through the skull's eyes, it's flowing golden light, drawing a circle of golden light, connecting all of these rose quartz skulls in a circle of golden light. And I move this 13 times around the grid. So I count 13 times, drawing that beautiful golden light, that ring of golden light around and around, connecting all of the rose quartz skulls together in a beautiful golden ring of light. 13 times I go around. Okay, once it's 13 times, I put the skull back into the center, and now the grid is charged. The skulls in this grid are now sending healing to the oil spill in California, to that location, and healing the water, the creatures in the water, the plant life, the shore, even including the people that are helping to clean up the spill, sending healing to that whole area, that whole event, that whole situation. Now, it is good to charge this grid up every 24 hours so that the healing energy of that grid is really strong and bright. Okay, and it keeps that healing energy strong and amplified. And we would keep the grid going, activating it like that every 24 hours until the situation is healed and resolved. So when the oil spill is cleaned up, everything is resolved, then we can not send healing anymore and we can work with something else, okay, a different event. Okay, so that's how we do that. So I know you probably don't have the 13 skulls, so we can't exactly practice it in class, but that is the technique and the method that we do it. So any questions about how to set up a 13 skull grid? No, pretty clear. You'll have that in your instructions in the PDF that I will send you. Okay, so good work. Excellent. All right, everyone. So let's just open it up now for any questions. So we're just a little bit over time now of our class. So let's spend, an extra 10 minutes if you can stick around to answer any questions that you have from any of the techniques that we have done in class, or any other comments that you would like to share from any of the healing experiences that you had doing these techniques in class. So any questions or comments that you would like to share? Yeah, Tatiana, I saw your hand go up first.
Yeah, I just have a quick question about cleansing bigger crystals. So they do still need to be cleansed. Is it Palo Santo wood or some would be easier to cleanse them with? How often do you usually do that, for example?
So if you have a larger skull, okay, and you don't want to put it on the salt, you don't have a plate or bowl big enough, then you could cleanse it using the sage, Palo Santo wood, or the incense. And if it's big and you can't hold it, let's say that my hand is a table, okay, right? Let's say this is a table, it's too heavy, I'm not going to lift it. I would then light the wood and just go around it in a circle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is good enough. Yes, so that is good.
I really enjoyed the workshop. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you. And then I saw a question here. I just want to go quickly into the chat box. I think someone asked me, oh yeah, with the crystal skull grid, these small skulls, the 12, face into the center. They will always face into the center because they're looking at the piece of paper that has the event written on it. Okay, so that they're looking at that, they're observing the healing that's happening. We don't want it facing out. Does that make sense? So they're all face into the center, always into the center. So we don't have them facing outward, they face inward so that they're looking at the healing, and they're looking also at the center skull, and they're then also amplifying the healing energy of the center skull, radiating that healing out to the event. Okay, does that make sense? Are we clear on that? So always facing inwards. And then, yes, I saw Savita's hand go up, and then we'll go to Ram. So Savita first, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. See, ma'am, when I'm doing distance healing, for that purpose, at a time, I can use like a rose quartz skull I'm using for emotional healing or any depression case, anxiety is there, phobia is there. So at a time for rose quartz, I can use 2 to 3 clients at a time. I can do many people distance healing with one skull, or at a time only one skull with one person.
So, okay, so if you're working with emotional healing, you might work with a stone that is also for emotional healing, such as rose quartz. You can work with a skull that is in rose quartz, because as we know, the healing properties of rose quartz itself is good for emotional healing, sadness, depression, and all of that, right? Okay. Or you could work with any type of crystal skull or gemstone skull for emotional healing. So you can also choose whichever crystal skull that wants to do that job.
Yes,
right?
but three same people are there. For them, I want to work at a time. Same time, same schedule. I want to work for 3 people.
Yeah.
So I can send at a time 3 people from one skull energy.
Okay.
I can send.
So here's the thing. So in this class, I'm only teaching self-healing techniques. However, if you wanted to create a crystal grid, like the 13 skulls that we have, to send healing to a friend or a family member, you can. You can put as many people on that piece of paper that is in need of healing, as long as you have the permission first. So for instance, let's say I have 5 friends and 4 family members that want healing. I would ask them, can I create a crystal healing grid for you to send you some healing, physical healing, emotional healing, etc.? They say yes. I write their names on a piece of paper, stick that piece of paper underneath the center grid, center stone of the crystal grid. Okay, so you can do it like that. Yeah. However, if you don't have a 13 skull grid, you could still do that working with one skull, write their names on a piece of paper, and then, infuse the skull with love and healing energy like we did, the golden light. Then piece of paper is here, you put the skull on the table, piece of paper is underneath, and then that one skull will send healing to multiple people at once. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That is my question.
Yeah.
I got the answer. And another one is, ma'am, any hole is there, different model is there in skulls are having jawline holes. Some skull doesn't have jawline holes. So which one is better, with jawline hole is better, or without is also okay, or any type is okay?
Any type is okay.
Any
Yeah.
type is.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it could have the full jaw, it could have a removable bottom jaw, or just missing the bottom, because there's skulls like that too. You can work with all of them, no problem.
All of them.
All
Okay,
of
ma'am.
them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. And then
Thank you.
Ram, yeah, your question.
Why use a skull rather than the raw or tumbled stone?
Yeah,
What is there about a skull that's different than the same crystal, but in a raw or tumbled form?
Good question. So yes, I mean, we can work with raw stones, tumbled stones for healing purposes. As we talked about in our class earlier, when it's carved into the skull shape, it takes on a whole other dimension for healing. It's like, these crystal skulls become very compassionate. We can work with them for healing on a deeper level, because the belief is that this crystal skull is connected to all of your crystal skulls, which is also connected to all of the skulls in the world. Like, that's kind of huge, so that we're all working for healing for the highest good. And then the belief is, because they're tapped into like a healing matrix of energy between all of the skulls, that the healing energy is amplified. So the healing work that we do for ourselves personally, amplified. The healing work that we do for other people, amplified. The healing work that we do for the earth, plants, animals, okay, disasters that show up in the world, amplified. So this is why also people like to work with crystal skulls. I mean, I work with both. I work with skulls. I work with, on here, I got all these kinds of rough stones. I work with them all. Jewelry, I wear jewelry. I work with that. I work with them all. It's sometimes it's choosing the right tool for the job. Yeah. Choosing the right tool for the job. And crystal skulls, I really love working with for earth healing, especially. And I also like to work with them for divination purposes, asking the question, receiving the answer. So you'll find, what you like to work with for your crystal skulls as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And any other questions or comments? Yes, Savita.
Crystal skull wearing bracelet has any special purpose or any unique identity or anything is there? Bracelet.
If you have one that has beads of crystal skulls that are 13, that can be very powerful to wear that. Yeah, definitely. So, I do have a little pendant that I wear. It's a labradorite skull. I'm not wearing it today, but I often wear it when I need some quick wisdom, because, the properties of labradorite also open intuition. So if I need to ask a question and get a quick answer, let's say I'm making a decision on something, I'll be like, what's the answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
Yeah, so that helps me, and I like to wear jewelry like that. So you might find that you might like to wear crystal skull jewelry to, help you in those situations as well. So, try it out and see what you like, right? Yeah.
But it must be with the 13 bracelet must be with the 13 skulls, or any number is okay.
Any number is okay, but if you have 13, even better. But
Yes,
any number is okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Tatiana, did I see your hand go up? Tatiana, and then we'll go to Jennifer.
Quickly, I just noticed that, I don't know, maybe I didn't notice it before, but my skull got like a white spot between the teeth during the practice in the middle. So I was curious, what kind of sign it is. It's okay. So if skulls get some kind of like a flaw or damage or whatever curious thing on them, so do we do anything about it?
There's nothing to be done if your crystal skull has a chip, a crack, or is damaged.
Yes,
now,
for sure.
I will say this: when your skull has a chip, a crack, or damaged in some way, okay, I will say that crystal skull can be very powerful to heal, I'm going to say in quotation marks, what is damaged. So when there's damage or pollution to, let's say, an ocean or a lake or a forest fire, okay, where the trees and, everything is damaged, or people who are, I'm going to say quotation marks, damaged, who have gone through a trauma and feel damaged in some way, right? Okay. Working with a skull like that can be very powerful healing.
Well,
So
actually, it happened, like, just it occurred to me. I know it's kind of weird, but in psychosomatics, teeth actually are related to, because I do counseling, right, and stuff. So it relates to ancestors as well, like to. So it happened actually approximately after that white. Maybe it's the white light got on me. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll have a question to the skull later.
yeah, so I mean, even for myself, like I do have a lot of, like when I think about my skulls here, I like none of them are perfect. They
Oh
all
no,
have
it's
like
okay.
something. There's usually like a little chip or a crack, and who knows, it could have happened, during shipping, or like if I ordered it and it was being delivered, or I could drop it and it could get a crack
Yeah, I
or
dropped
something with
once
it.
like a huge amethyst. I worked at a gemstone, so I had to buy it to compensate. And
Yeah.
it just chipped off. But I mean,
Yeah, but those crystals and those kinds of crystal skulls can do tremendous healing, to also have beautiful healing breakthroughs and spiritual breakthroughs, to heal what is
okay,
damaged, to restore
I
wholeness.
also believe that. Yeah.
I had a crystal skull here. It was a fluorite one, and the fluorite, I dropped it and it cracked. And when I looked at it, I thought, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna then create two pieces, because that's how the crack was. And I thought, okay, I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to break it in half, but I could see it was very fragile. I left it, and over time it then healed back together very strong. I mean, it
Wow.
took a while to do that. I didn't work with it. I just let it rest, maybe,
This is hard to
3,
believe
4
even.
months. Yeah. And I came back to it, and then I was looking at it and I thought, yeah, I wonder if this is going to break. So I actually tried to break it apart, because I know I could see space in there when it first happened. I could see space in the crack, but when I looked at the crack, it's like it didn't have that little space between anymore. It healed and it mended. And I
It's like
tried
human
to,
body, right?
yeah,
So
and I tried to crack it open just for see if I could do it, and it was strong. I could not. So then I thought, wow, that skull is really powerful to work with when you feel almost like shattered in life. If you feel so sad or grief stricken that you feel like you're emotionally shattered, I thought this is really good for, emotional healing. So I began to work with that one in the emotional healing work,
thank you.
for
That's an
yeah.
interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, these things happen, in crystal healing, and it's really interesting when it does. Okay, Jennifer, your hand went up. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering again about the larger skulls, because some of the techniques that you showed today, I wouldn't be able to do with that because I can't hold it
Yeah.
in one hand. Because it's very heavy. I don't know why it's so heavy. It's not huge, it's just heavy.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, can you still do the technique by like setting it down and touching it while you're doing it, or
Yeah, for
something
sure.
like that?
Yeah. And like this one too is heavy. I don't hold it for very long because it's too heavy for me. So what you could do is, set it facing towards you. Okay, when we
Mhm.
do those techniques that face towards you, and then just hold it. So you
Okay.
can touch it with one hand.
So just
Okay.
touching it.
Yeah, and then just work with it like that. And then when you do the ancestor one, you can turn it the other way when it's time to flow the healing energy into the future. That's an easy way to do it, because, you don't want to hurt yourself or your wrists, if you're trying to hold it. So yeah, that's a good way to do it. You just put it in
Yeah,
on a
it's a
table in front
beautiful
of you.
skull. It's a beautiful skull. It's just too heavy to do
Yep.
that one-handed thing with.
Yeah, exactly. So go
Okay, I
ahead
appreciate
and
that.
give it a go that way. Yeah, exactly. And if you're doing the scanning technique, okay, face it towards you, and then do your
Okay.
scanning technique while you hold it like that. So
Okay.
that you're not holding it in one hand and scanning with the
Right.
other. So just let it sit on a table and just touch it that way. That's good.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Very good. Any other questions? Oh, beautiful. Another kind of skull. That's great, Tatiana. It's beautiful. All right, good stuff. So I guess we shall end there. So thank you so much to all of you for being in this class. I've really enjoyed our time together. This has been absolutely magical. You have all done a beautiful job doing these healing techniques. So my homework assignment to you is to practice these techniques in the days following this class, and practice them on a regular basis. Like, let's say the emotional healing, the physical healing of your physical body. The more you practice these techniques, the more it builds up healing momentum, the more healing result that you will receive from that, the stronger you will become, the more healing result you will have. So please practice this on a regular basis on your own time. You can go as slow or as quickly as you want. And I will then provide to you, email to you, all of you, the video to the class, so you can follow along and watch that way if you want to listen to my voice. And you'll also have the written instructions in a PDF. If you like to work that way, you can work with the instructions there. So may you enjoy working with your crystal skulls. May you have fun working with them and receive beautiful healing. And then I look forward to seeing all of you in a crystal class next time. So thank you so much.